Hi everyone and welcome to AdWords Hangouts on Air. I'm your host Paratosh and today is part 2 of the 4-part series for optimizing your mobile website. Just before we start our presentation today, a quick heads up to all our viewers. Feel free to optimize your YouTube viewing settings to see this picture in high quality. Alright, let's begin. We're entering the year 2017 and mobile will be your primary device. Here's an example to sort of just put things into perspective. Booking.com is a website which actually had a geometric progression in terms of the revenue they got from mobile. As you can see, in the year 2011, they had $1 billion worth of booking via mobile, which actually went up to 15 billion in just a span of 3 years. Just goes to highlight the importance of mobile, not only from the perspective of people who own these websites and who run these businesses, but also from the perspective of the buyers. Now, today's session is split into two parts. Basically, we'll be talking about how to succeed with mobile. We'll be talking about having incredible experiences on the website and also about how exactly can you optimize your AdWords account for that. All right, let's start with the very first bit. Now, when we speak about incredible experiences, we are basically talking about giving your consumers what exactly they want on their terms with a seamless experience. So let me just quickly go through a couple of important pointers here. First things first, whenever people are going to read about your business or know about your business, they will visit your M site first. Now, this is a transition actually. Initially, whenever people would read about your business or want to know more about your business, they would actually see you on a desktop. Times have changed now, as you saw in a previous slide, and they visit your M site first, which basically means that your mobile website needs to be very well optimized. Couple of quick pointers over here. This is an example from Starbucks' website. As you can see, they have a very nice subtle notification with promotions. So if you're running any promotions, etc., and which you think people should know about, that could always come in. Try providing a clear menu of whatever items you're providing, and of course you could always have some sort of a pop-up inviting users to subscribe and initiate any actions. Again, the kind of optimization that you would do would depend from website to website and the kind of business model that you have, but again, these are a quick couple of things to be kept in mind. uh, Now let's look at guiding users to taking action easily. Another example of a mobile website over here. Action is king, which basically means that, regardless of the product that you're selling or the service that you're offering, always induce buying behavior, always induce people to make some changes or do some actions on your website. Sometimes you might be allowing people to see a lot of information on your mobile website. In cases like those, it's always good to have quick links. Moving on now to giving users a beautiful and natural path to purchase. So as you can see on the screen right now, it's an example of a person's buying behavior on a particular website. As you can see, the website owner has made it a point to first ask the person as to what is the price range that they're looking at. Once the website owner has gathered all the required information, they have then gone ahead and looked at the various services that they're looking for, which is then transcended into them asking the user as to how many guests are looking to buy that particular product. Again, the kind of website that you will be designing and the flow or the path, etc., will differ, but it's always understandable, or it's always better to look at your audience, understand what all things might they be looking at, what all small micro moments are there, which you could optimize for, and accordingly designing a website. Next up is providing the best experience by thinking on consumer behavior. So we'll again go through a quick couple of examples over here. In some instances, people are looking to generate leads via a mobile website. In scenarios like those, it makes perfect sense to develop some sort of forms, which are easy to go through, which load on the interface very easily, and which people can actually fill out really easily as well. You don't want to have people come onto your website and then spend a lot of time just filling out a form and not spending so much time reviewing products, etc. Also, if you're the kind of website where you sell beautiful products and you really want people to see exactly what the products look like, make it a point to ensure that the user has to not zoom in and zoom out, and they can see the product in its entirety the moment the website loads for them. Uh, Two more examples over here. If you feel that people are going to be searching on your mobile website as well, do provide them with a clear and concise search box. Sometimes there are a plethora of products that you're offering to them, a lot of services that you're offering to them, and you can't really gauge as to exactly what a consumer might be looking for. So having a search box would really help. And of course, allow the user to explore your content as much as possible. This is the place where your content organization skills would come in. You need to understand exactly how to place the content, where to show the content to them. Again, feel free to refer to a couple of websites for this. Now, this is one common misconception, I would say, or a common understanding that we need to establish. The mobile users need the same information as the users who are looking for you on a desktop device. Uh, Often we tend to believe that because a person is searching on a mobile device, maybe they are on the go and they are slightly in a rush. Hence, maybe we could just focus on showing them the key information points, etc. But do keep in mind the fact that mobiles have substituted desktop, not just for when people are in a rush, they have generally substituted your desktops and tablets. So in this example over here, as you can see, this is basically a user interface of an app wherein everything which was being covered on their website, on their desktop website, has been covered on their mobile website as well. So again, look at it from the perspective of a consumer who is looking for information or who's looking to, let's say, avail your service. Consider everything that that person would be looking out for, whether it's an urgent thing for him, what location is he looking for, what budget does he have, and go ahead and accordingly set up your mobile website. Also, very important is to be concise and efficient in checkout. We are in a point of time now wherein there's not just one or two websites which are available to a consumer. There are a lot of websites which one can choose from. Anything that we might end up doing which might delay their search on the website, which might delay the amount of time they take from the point they've liked the product to buying it, might result in them coming out and might result in them going to some other website. So have a very concise and efficient checkout. Make sure that you're mentioning all the points about checkout in like one page itself, and allow people to go ahead and have that seamless experience when they buy from a website. Next up is page speed insights. A couple of important pointers of fact for you over here. 40% of people abandon a website if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. Yes, we've come that far on the mobile journey. So try to ensure the fact that the page loads as soon as possible. A lot of 47% of the people expect a page to load within less than 2 seconds. Again, if we look back, take a step back here, we've gone from a point where we used to be relying on mobile data to actually having Wi-Fi. And it's not just Wi-Fi at home or at office, but you have cities now which are full of, which have free access to Wi-Fi. So that's why people expect these pages to load as soon as possible. So that's another important piece of the pie over here. And 52% of people say that fast load time is important to brand loyalty as well. So, if you're the kind of business which has been doing exceptionally well and brand loyalty is the next thing you're trying to focus on, try focusing on improving your page speed insights as well. Now, when you try to improve your page speed insights, don't worry, you can always come to us. There's something known as a page speed insights tool. All right, a quick Google search will help you to that, or as you can see on the slide over here, the link for that. All you have to do basically is go ahead and paste the URL of your website, or even go ahead and paste the URL of your landing pages, etc. Our system will be able to scan the website for you and tell you the speed of that particular website on a mobile as also on a desktop device. Since we are specifically talking about mobile over here, this tool will not only tell you exactly what the speed is, but will also tell you what all needs to be done or what all can be optimized on the website to increase its speed. So I'm sure we have a lot of web developers who often come back to us and tell us, okay, how can we increase the speed, etc. What changes do we need to make? If you're business owners who concentrate majorly on running their businesses and getting into the nitty-gritties is not an easy thing, this tool will be very handy for you. It's very self-explanatory as to what has to be done from a technical standpoint, and they will be able to make changes. Another thing that we do is the mobile friendly test. Again, a quick search on Google or the link, as you can see here, will guide you to this. Basically, what you can do over here is similarly go ahead and paste the URL of your website or page or paste URLs of your landing pages. The system will go ahead and tell you whether that page is mobile friendly or not. If it is, it'll give you a signal that yes, this page is mobile friendly. If 1% it is not mobile friendly, not only will it tell you that, it'll also tell you what all has to be fixed. So the example that we see here right now, it shows us that for the following website, there are 4 issues which need to be fixed. Again, these might seem a little technical, but one glance by the webmasters will have them understand exactly what has to be fixed and how it needs to be fixed as well. All right, so far we have looked at a couple of things from the perspective of setting up your mobile website. This is just a three-part, success story, etc., that you could look at. First of all, be there. Basically, you need to figure out those micro moments, the exact moment when a person might go from just browsing on a website to actually wanting to buy a product. The moment you've realized that micro moment for yourself is when you be useful. Now, when we say be useful, try to have some information showing to them which is very relevant to them. You could maybe give them a dialog box which would allow them to ask for their tell you about their requirements. You could guide people to a couple of quick links which might come in really handy. You could even guide them to a form which would come to you in the form of a lead. And last but not the least, be quick, because again, like we said, for every product or service that is being offered right now, there are a lot of websites that a person could search for. So the moment you've realized that it's a micro moment and you have to optimize on it, try to ensure it's a seamless experience from that point onwards till they go ahead and actually convert or do some actions on your website. A quick summary here of what makes a good mobile website. Try to ensure that you have a nice home page and site navigation is easy. You don't want them to have a slightly challenging time in understanding exactly where the content is that they were looking for. Provide them with the ability to convert. This basically ties up to the content you have on your website and how exactly will you be leading people from, let's say, a home page to a page where they could actually buy products from. Make it easily usable. I think it makes perfect sense to always, whenever you set up these websites, try having a test audience for you who could test your website and tell you if they find anything. You could always use the certified UX partners for implementation when needed. Mobile site analysis is always a good to have. Whenever your webmasters are in the process of designing the website, feel free to refer back to the Page Speed Insights tool or any other tools to ensure that the website loads fine, etc. Site search, again, very important. Sometimes we are not selling just one or two products. We might be selling a lot of products. And if you have enabled site search, it'll allow people to find the product that they're looking for. And finally, if you are trying to generate any leads, it's always good to have some sort of forms, which should be easy to find, should not have a lot of questions being asked, and should be easy to be filled out by the user as well. All right, so far we've taken a look at exactly how would one optimize their mobile website. The next thing that we'd be looking at is connecting consumers to the relevant AdWords product. So this is basically the optimization on an AdWords front. Now, first things first is use expanded text ads in search. As we all might know, it's a fairly new AdWords feature, which will now allow you to have bigger headlines. It'll allow you to have more text on your ads. So we've gone from a point where people could, might have to rely on two ads or might have to rely on a combination of ads and site links to give important information that can all be condensed to one single ad unit in itself. So go ahead, go to your website, figure out exactly what all those important details are, and put that in your expanded text ad. The next thing that you can do is using display responsive ads. Now, this I think is a very important feature given the rate at which we are progressing, not just on mobiles, but the rate at which people are taking the Google Display Network, not just from a branding perspective, but from a lead generation perspective as well. Now, there are multiple ad sizes in which you could create ads in your Google AdWords account. Most ad formats would fit the various display websites, but sometimes you might end up creating, let's say, a banner ad, and maybe the website you want to show the ads on doesn't accept a banner ad. This is exactly where your display responsive ads come in. Just one ad has to be created by you, and it'll automatically optimize the size of the ad to fit into various ad buckets. So for those of you over here who are trying to increase their branding on the Google Display Network on mobile websites, or trying to generate as many leads as possible, your display responsive ads will come in really handy. Don't miss out on relevant opportunities with the consumers. It always makes sense to sort of optimize your searches or tweak the text of the ad or the keywords. For example, we are in the holiday season right now, so people might be searching on Google with keywords or with the expectation of seeing ads around that. And try to see if you could optimize the ad position. This is where mobile bid adjustments come in really handy as well. Now, next up is providing relevant information which will convince them to buy. First up, of course, are your site links, because again, while a person might be interested in one particular product, it's always good to tell them what other products you're offering, what services you're offering, etc. And from what we've noticed, having site links could lead to a 10 to 20% potential increase in your CTR. So not only from the perspective of your ad positioning, it could also help improve the ad quality. Of course, if you're the kind of business which is trying to drive as many phone calls as possible, and you really think that speaking on the phone with your clients would really drive them into buying your products or checking out your services, having your call extensions will come in really handy as well. Call outs again, if there's any part of information about your website or about your business which you think has been missed out, let's say that you've won a business award and you would like to call that out, that is exactly where a call out comes in. And if you want to stand out further from amongst your competition, review extensions come in really handy as well. So far, as you've seen, we've concentrated majorly on the kind of ads that you can create, the kind of extension that you could create. Always keep in mind that to have a very high quality or high performing AdWords account, and specifically for mobile, it's always good to have a combination of your ads and extensions, etc. At the same time, make it a point to not have the same information showing on your ads and your site links, because that would have the same information showing twice. So go through your website, figure out your audience and what exactly the audience will be looking for, and accordingly decide the content which would go on your ads, extensions, etc. We have two new very exciting mobile first extensions for you. One is called a message extension. Basically, a user will click on the text icon on your ad and it'll launch their SMS app with the preloaded message. So basically, this is very, very handy for people who are wanting to generate leads, businesses who are trying to generate leads and would like to get back in touch with their potential customers. And for businesses which are selling things at a very competitive price and they think that their pricing could really give them this edge that they're looking for, that's where your price extensions come in as well. All right. So here are three important things that would come in handy, or three things to look at when you're trying to leverage on your ad extensions. First of all, your ad extension will allow you to stand out, not just from the perspective that there are a lot of extra additional points that get shown, but from the perspective of sort of making ad look bigger and making it more attractive to look at and make it more attractive to click at as well. And again, like as mentioned, it helps you drive a better CTR. It will help in driving efficiency as well. This should historically, or this should, in a course of time, lower your cost per click. And of course, it'll help you boost your conversion as well. More the amount of information, or more a bigger picture that you can paint about your business via these ads and ad extensions, more is the chances that people are going to visit your website, will always be aware as to exactly what all you're offering, and might be able to go ahead and convert. Now, these are a couple of things over here. Regardless whether people are just searching on the internet for particular services, or if they're just casually browsing, a couple of things you could always do. Having standard and dynamic image ads would come in really handy. Similarly, would be the case with your dynamic text ads. If you're the sort of business wherein you feel that maybe people are looking for very customized help, etc., you could use Gmail sponsored promotions. We also have the concept of TrueView and Lightbox ads. TrueView ads are basically for YouTube, and Lightbox ads is a very interesting feature which allows people to basically engage with the ad. And if they are showing interest is when you could probably show people a little more content about your website. So a couple of features over here. Again, these are a few recommendations from our side. Feel free to figure out your own business model, figure out what would work best. Sometimes we need to be very proactive in our approach to our advertisers and show them the products that they are looking for. Sometimes you could passively as well reinforce them about the various products that you're offering, which is where you would be looking at your search networks and display networks and probably like a remarketing list as well. And the various ad formats that we offer for you will come in handy. Highlighting your inventory to shoppers with rich ads. So our product listing ads, as you can see here on the screen, it has 32% higher chances of conversions if it begins from a mobile website. Just to give an important analysis over here, we've come from a point where people search for you on a desktop first to a point where people search for you on a mobile first, they do their research, and then they go to a desktop and buy a product. And as it shows over here, that good 32% of the shopping conversions begin with a mobile search. So, and seeing as it's a fairly new thing, not a lot of people have made this shift in all industries and tangents, this could be a very, very important thing for you to look at. A quick tip over here, exactly to optimize everything. First of all, test your websites using the PageSpeed Insights and the mobile-friendly test. Fix would be the switching a website to a mobile-friendly website, ensuring it has a good user interface, it loads correctly, and doesn't have any navigational issues. Then would be optimizing your AdWords account. It could be your campaign, the networks you're targeting, and finally, do measure the effect of the changes that you've made. That's pretty much it for today. You always have a support, and if you think that there's something specific you would like to be addressed, you could always call us, email us, chat with us, ask our experts, or even reach out to a help center. It's been lovely presenting to you all, and all the very best. Thank you.